delays create an impediment to the rollout of important infrastructure, and the taxpayer is going to pick up the tab for those delays. Thanks very much,
Van Turnhout.
Thank you very much. I would begin by encouraging my colleagues to actively participate in the debate and private members' motion by the Independent Group this evening on disability supports and services. And I'd equally appeal to them to support the motion as put forward by the Independent Group. And I think it's a very important debate that we need to have. I hope this House will really not just debate it, but actually in our motion we have very clear action points that need to be taken, and therefore I'd call on your support. It's been led by my colleague Senator Mary-Ann O'Brien. Secondly, as we're discussing private members' business, I would like to recall the House to the private members' business that the Independent Group brought forward on the 12th of October last year on the criminalising the purchase of sex in Ireland. We're now into 3 months of the 6 months time period indicated by the Minister for Justice and Equality for a public consultation, a wide public consultation. And this question was asked about in the Dáil last week by Deputy Kevin Humphreys. And the Minister advised that the consultation process will be ready before the end of January. However, I'm concerned by the inclusion of a caveat by the Minister in the same reply that the publication of the document before the end of January is subject to resources having regard to compelling priorities, including legislative priorities. Now, I fully appreciate the difficult financial times we are in, and I know that the Government needs to prioritise its work. But I believe in this debate, in the debate that we had on the 12th of October last, we clearly showed the clear link between prostitution and trafficking, particularly the issues of trafficking of children for sexual exploitation. The protection of women and children from sexual exploitation must be a government priority. So I would like to ask the Leader to invite Minister Shatter into the House to confirm that the consultation document will be published and that the consultation process will commence without any further delay. I would also like to raise the issue of whistleblower legislation, and it has been much in the media, the situation of Louise Bayliss, who was in fact coincidentally in with me last Tuesday before she heard on the situation on lone parents. She's an advocate that has clearly spoken out, and I think we need to remember in all of this debate about the 5 women who she spoke out about, who were being put into a closed unit. So how many other people are in those situations if we don't ensure that there's clear whistleblowing legislation, but also that there is independent funding for the advocacy organisations? And this isn't about new funding. This is about the basis of funding for the organisations that are working as advocates. Finally, I would like to raise the Children's Rights Alliance report card, which was launched on Monday, and I would suggest to the House and to the Leader, last week I called for the Minister for Children to come into this House, and I would suggest that this would be an excellent basis for discussion, and I would just like to highlight that the Government has failed in the report card in relation to St Patrick's Institution and the continued detention of children in this adult prison regime, and also the effects of Budget 2012 on lone parents and large families and the implications for child poverty was very much highlighted. The Government did get the best grade a Government has got in 4 years, but that doesn't mean it's good enough. We need to do more. It's a wide-ranging report that looks at all aspects of a child's life, and I think it would provide an excellent foundation for our debate. Thank you.
Quinn.
Clearly, may I add my voice to support Senator Pascal Mooney when